All right, yeah, it's me. Yeah, no introductions needed. I got my man RC's in the house, bruh. Long time subby. We've conversed back and forth, on behind the scenes and stuff. I'm excited to
Hmm.
have you here, because I want you to tell me what's going on in Georgia. Because I left in '08 because I just saw too much nonsense.
Hmm.
So, first introduce yourself, all that good stuff. Let the people know who you are.
All right, my name is actually my name on YouTube and Instagram is Arcee3 because I spelled my initials. My name is Raymond Carter III, so I just spelled out my initials with the three. You can find me on Instagram making little videos, cutting up. Sometimes it's funny, sometimes I'm a little more passionate about certain things. So yeah, man, y'all check me out on Instagram, RC3 underscore.
Let
Uh,
me
for,
ask you before
mhm.
we get into it, how entrenched are you in the politics of the state and the county? Does it matter to you? Are you the ones that you're watching the news, you're seeing the polls, you're
Mhm.
seeing the candidates and their rhetoric? Are you one of those guys that's like you're knee deep in it?
No, I'm not really knee deep in it. I probably have a toe or a foot in it because my perspective, I really come from the people's perspective because I've noticed that the Democrats are going very hard, man, to take over this city and state. Now they lost the governorship, which I'm glad, but they are still trying their best to get the state as far as senators and mayor's always going to be Democratic anyway, so that's a given. But yeah, I really just talk with people, man. Not necessarily politicians, but people's point of view. I work with so many different people every day that I get their perspective.
How divided are the people?
Oof. That's it. I mean, they're very divided, man. It's pretty between people voting for these two parties down here. I would say pretty much it's almost violent, man. And when I mean violent, not only just verbally on, but it's people that are ready to fight you if you vote. If you black and you vote Republican, yeah, they ready to throw down, man. Call you all kind of names, everything, man. But they definitely divided down here.
So, but do black people remember before the civil rights bill, the majority of black folks were Republican?
And that's what I try to explain to people down here, but they don't understand that. And it's people. The sad thing is, most of the elders down here still vote Republican, but anybody like under 70, man, they starting to make a real liberal turn, man. They really looking forward to the state being blue for some reason. Uh, mhm.
Do you know why that is, or do they even understand what comes with a liberal state?
No, they don't understand because anytime I ask them why they would vote Democrat, why they would go to the liberal side, it's the cookie cutter answers. You know what I'm saying? Like uh, either they say they don't know, or they'll be like, well, they look out for us, and you know they always gonna bring up the assistance, the government assistance aspect, whereas they don't understand that that's very detrimental to us as a people because when the prices of stuff goes up, it's the middle class black people that are affected most.
Okay, so would it be safe to assume that a lot of our people want the assistance because they don't want to have to do for selves? Is that kind of like a foregone conclusion at this point?
Yeah, because the brainwashing is real, man. When I try to explain to them the difference in the parties, I say, you know, when we had Trump down here, man, people were spending money, man. You know, people were making a lot more money. People were spending money, and they don't see the difference. And when I try to explain to them prior to the Civil Rights Act, it's like they turn off. It's like they turn their spirit off, man. Not even just their ears, but just their whole inside, bro.
Okay, so what inspired me to reach out to you? Because you made a post about Warnock and Walker.
Yeah.
Um, Give me your thoughts on that, and who do you see winning and moving forwards? Right, I just want to hear you speak on it because you touched on it, and I was like, okay, I like this. Go.
Yeah. Well, Warnock, the problem I have with Warnock, first of all, you know, and we know about Ebenezer Baptist Church. So
You have to, yeah,
that
you had to have had to live in Atlanta to know about that. But yeah.
yeah. So that's red flag number one. And as a pastor, you're gonna run on a Democratic pro-abortion ticket. And then all of a sudden he got it coming out of nowhere. He's got this big boost from Biden and Obama. A lot on TV down here, man. They really pushing this dude, man. And now that he's been in there a couple of years, he really all he does is what Biden wants him to do. So he's really not thinking about the people at all. Matter of fact, him and Walker had a debate that he didn't answer a single question to, man.
So do you think that people are willing to give Walker a chance at this point?
Hold on, just a second. Hold on. He's over now. Hold on, just a second.
All right, well, he's got to take care of some business.
Yeah, I got to take care of some. Hold on,
oh,
just a
no,
second.
go ahead. Yeah, no, yeah, dude, that's cool. Hold on, I'll get you. Yeah. Okay, he's got to go do something real quick, and we'll come back and discuss more Georgia politics. This is interesting. I like this. I think what I'm going to do is, who the hell is texting me? No. Just leave it. Okay. My Bluetooth turned on in this one? Okay, my bad. Okay, so Carrie's in the house. FJ, Toledo Bunny, Chris. Yeah, Cash, Luciano. All right. Hey, my man is back. Well, let's go.
Yeah, sorry about that, brother.
No, you're good. So I was asking, do you see the people? Is it that bad to whether you think you believe they will give Walker a shot? Does he have a legit shot for the runoff in December?
I think if he can, I think the reason it was so close and they haven't a runoff is because I think more people in the state are more toward Walker, whereas the Metro Atlanta area is more toward Warnock. I think really the state, me personally too, but I think the state as a whole wants to give Walker a shot because Warnock hasn't really done anything, man.
So is that more to just the candidate itself, or people are starting to maybe see that the party is the problem?
Well, down here, I think that people are starting to see that the party is the problem because, like I said, the Democratic Party doesn't do anything, and I think that Herschel, being that he was a football legend and was a very big contributor to a lot of things here in the state, that I think that with this runoff, I think he can pull it off, man. I think the people will go with Walker because they won't change, man. And a lot of the people in the street I talk to, they're not big fans of Warnock and his Obama and Biden affiliations.
If Walker gets in, what do you see being different, or will we have to wait to see what his policies are?
I would have to wait to see what his policies are, man, if he gets in, because they haven't really hit him with any kind of like they'll ask him stuff. He has great answers, he has great ideas, but a lot of the things like economy, as far as the economy and things like that, I don't think he's really touched on like that as far as the state's economy.
Okay. Before we talk more politics, Wellstar closing down. Now, I was supposed to make a video about it, but this happened, I think, maybe 2 months ago when they officially announced it.
Yeah.
How bad is that?
It's a lot of people gonna be out of luck, man. Far from what I've looked into, man, it seems that they just stopped getting the funding that somebody that Grady gets. And his being that Grady is right across the highway, literally. And everything else is Emory's pretty much bought up every other hospital. So that area right there was really in need of a hospital, and it's just, yeah, it's a bad scene. They really don't have the funding.
Yeah, because it's going to overflood Grady. Grady can only take so much. I mean, they're already over capacity now.
Mm-hmm.
So you mentioned earlier that the area was gentrified, and you suspect they have a plan for that particular area with the hospital included. What do you think that is?
As far as what they're gonna do with it,
Yeah.
at the rate, man, everything that they build right now down here is housing. Like you don't see too many businesses getting big, but everywhere you look is housing, whether it's high rise, townhomes. In that particular area, they're being that close to downtown, midtown, and all that. They're really gonna push it because on one side of the street is still the black people from the old boulevard, and directly across the street is the gentrified part with the newer homes and everything like that, and they're all right there together. I think part of Wellstar closing is they plan on doing something big with that area. You also have a park over there, and it's so close to the city and what's going on that I think they're gonna make some major changes over there, bro.
And who do you suspect will be buying up those properties once they're built?
As far as what kind of people,
Yeah.
upper crust, everybody, man. Cause out here, man, a lot of white people when they work in the city, I mean, when they work in the city, they don't want to drive out to Cumming and they don't want to drive out to McDonough anymore, man. So what they'll do is they might just sell their house in the suburbs and move back to that right there in that area, man. But they finna do something big, man. They over there walking their dogs and everything, man. They coming right
Wow.
along.
So, okay, I like where this is going. Buckhead, because now I remember when I lived there, let's say Midtown. What area is close to the airport? Because back in '08, they were doing expansion. They were
Mm-hmm.
building construction towards the airport, and they were having a
Mm-hmm.
lot of break-ins. This was before I left,
Mm-hmm.
right? And do you see Buckhead? Because eventually they're going to get it zoned the way they wanted it, right?
Yeah.
They're going to what do they get rid of the people that live there now? You know, the nouveau rich black folk that have come to Buckhead and
Mm-hmm.
sullied its reputation. Do you see that happening as well? It being gentrified,
Oh yeah, Buckhead is definitely gonna re-gentrify. You're probably gonna have to because even now with it being it's technically under Atlanta, but um, if they switch it over to Buckhead and zone it that way, they're probably gonna have a lot of because they have a lot of people with clout up there as far as the politics in Buckhead. So it's probably gonna be like basically a town with like a homeowners association type rules. You know what I'm saying? As far as the city of Buckhead, they're not gonna let all that fly. And if you're nouveau rich and you black, you probably if you're a rapper, you probably not gonna. They probably gonna give you a little hell. They probably gonna be on you. But like athletes and then other entertainers, I don't think it'll be a problem. But it's gonna be super strict. It's gonna be super strict up there. Because right now they are so tired of that, man. That the whole era of Buckhead, the whole era is different, man. Like the people that live there are not playing, man.
how did how did it become this bad? 'Cause, like I said, I can only refer back to when I was there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it still had some prestige about it. It was still like somewhat exclusive. Not everybody could get to at least afford to play in Buckhead per se.
Mm-hmm.
How did it get this bad? Well, who could you point the finger to, or at least say, okay, well, they may have had a hand in this?
Okay. Now, when I was growing up here, like you said, when I was growing up here, you couldn't just go to Buckhead like that. You really
Right.
couldn't afford nothing in there. A lot of the people that are moving down here now from other places, they have means. They might not have a lot of means, but I've seen some young kids living in spots around Buckhead, like the high rises, and that I'm like, man, what do y'all do for a living? You live here, so now you got a lot more younger people who want to go to Buckhead because of the fashion and the name brand stuff that's in Buckhead, even though it's higher end. Man, these younger people, man, and these rappers, they'll go in there and shop, man, like it ain't nothing.
Yeah, I remember when I used to live in Sandy Springs, and I thought I was moving on up, and then all of a sudden it was like, how they get? They just surrounded by people that you try to get away from. It's like, wait a minute, this is not part of the plan. So
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know if you've been back to Sandy Springs since '08.
I have. Matter of fact, I make it a point to go back at least twice a year. So I was there just a few months ago, and I
Mm,
quickly drove through it, bro. And I was just like, I saw the exit. I was like, yeah, I remember that. And I just drove straight through it.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
so how different is it now?
Oh, Sandy Springs,
Yeah,
man, they've added so many apartments to that area now. Um, it's very crowded now in Sandy Springs. For all the way between Abernathy and between Abernathy and Glen was it Glen Ridge? Super packed, man. All different kind of people, young, old, black, white, Mexicans. It's really crowded, man. And then they got their construction for 285 and 400 going on. So it's a mess in Sandy Springs. But a lot of people now are starting to kind of move towards Sandy Springs. Cause like I said, a lot of people trying to be closer to the city now. The
that's
traffic,
crazy.
the traffic's so bad, man.
So is the cost of living still the same, or has it inflated like everywhere else?
Man, the cost of living, they still pay like Georgia here, but the cost of living is headed toward New York direction. Some of these
That's
high
crazy.
rises, man, some of these high rises are 2,500 a month.
Yeah, I can't justify that ever.
Yeah. It's 2,500 a month. That'd be for a one bedroom, depending on what area you're in. But yeah, the cost of living, uh, as far as living situations, is way up. There's not a house. You would have to go somewhere really, really country to get a house that's under $250,000 right now.
That would be what Kennesaw.
You got nah. You have to go up toward. When I say out, you have to go to Rome, or you have to go out toward Augusta, man.
Really? So is that still in Cobb County or no?
Who
Is
Augusta?
it? Yeah, that's not Cobb County, is it though?
No, no, no. Augusta's toward the South
The
Carolina line.
source. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and you had to go somewhere far out. Like you would have to go back almost to Columbus that far. Like you had to go way somewhere outside of the metro Atlanta area to get any houses. And I asked my aunt, who's a realtor, she doesn't have any house that she'll sell anywhere close to the city for, and it's like 80 miles. Nothing's under 250,000.
That's insane.
Yeah. Because we trying to get a house right now, but right now, when you buy a house, they want 10% down, bro. So if I get a $250,000 house, I gotta have 25 G.
Okay, is that affecting other areas like Alpharetta, Smyrna, Marietta? I mean, is that it's circulating pretty much Atlanta on out? Is that
Yeah,
safe to say? Okay.
yeah, yeah. It's an even distribution, man. It ain't really all the areas are pretty much going up at the same rate.
Okay. So now, what about the hoods? Decatur, East Point. Are
Mhm.
those still going to be like safe havens for people to go where if they can't afford to live directly in the city?
No, they're gonna be just as high, brother. The East Points and all them, their rent is going up just like that. A lot of people are having to move out further from East Point. Like my little sister, she had to move from. She trying to move. She had to move to Union City from East Point just so she could afford it. So yeah, everywhere in the city, East Point, all the hoods and all that. If you ain't able to afford it, they just gonna run through there and get it, man. But all that rent is gone up, bro. Yep.
Okay. Let me ask you this. How much of an influx are you seeing immigrant wise, either legal or illegal?
I'm gonna put it to you like this. I'm gonna see how can I say this. Norcross, Georgia, right here where I'm by, because I'm right here I'm on Pleasantdale.
Right off
Pleasantdale
the
Road.
Norcross 400, right? If I remember correctly.
Pleasantdale was, Spaghetti Junction.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Norcross is probably just Norcross alone is 95% Mexican.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
They have every neighborhood in Norcross taken up. The only black people near here are either considered technically Tucker or technically Doraville or something like that. Doraville and Norcross are mostly Mexican. Every gas station is foreign owned. It's not a Quick Trip or a racetrack. That's not a big corporation. Every gas station is foreign owned. Every liquor store is foreign owned around here where I'm at.
Mhm.
Even in the black areas, Candler Road and places like that. Yeah, the immigrants are taking, brother. They taking over down here, man.
Okay, so let's say the gentrification is citywide and they're pushing everybody out. So where do black folk go besides Alabama at this point? Or what options would they have if they can't afford to live, you know, in the ritzy part? Or
They're gonna end up further out. Like they're gonna end up like Douglasville. They're gonna end up in Conyers. Where I grew up, man. In Conyers, when I grew up, Conyers was 90.
yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, it was 80% white. Now it's 90. Now it's 85% black.
So, okay, maybe this is a crazy question, but so where do the white people go then at this point?
Ooh, the white people they going back to the city, bro. And if they ain't in the city, they in places like Cumming, Kennesaw. Um, they've even gone as far as Ackworth and Cartersville, man. Ackworth and Cartersville have grown tremendously, brother. Some of them are going far south now. You got some people, they're going to Dallas and Douglasville. They're still moving over to some of them are going as far as I'm trying to remember the town. Some of them going out, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this. A lot of them going to Covington and Social Circle and places like that.
I've only heard of it. Okay, I know what you're saying though.
Places way out. They're getting a lot of land. Commerce, Georgia, Statham toward Athens. They're going all to it that way. Yeah, all those places are blowing up, man. Yeah, so the ones that's not in the city are in those places like that were previously just country as hell.
Uh-huh.
Now it's like houses and apartments springing up all over the place out these places, and they're like an hour from the city.
Man, I mean, I'm hearing you say this, and then back in 08, I'm like, this ain't right, man. You know, even before I moved there, my sister, she got her degree from Georgia University. Even back then, 15 years prior before I moved, she was like, it ain't the same. It ain't the same. And wow. So
when I was growing up here, bro, it was some places now that was so country when I was growing up. That's another place. Buford, Gwinnett is like Upper Gwinnett, Buford, Gainesville, all of them. These places were so wooded, bro, that if you was black, you couldn't go up there, bro.
okay.
Yeah, it was like that. Cobb and Gwinnett and all them Carterville, Ackworth, like,
Yeah.
all that's new. Going to Athens on 316, all that was country, man. They got houses and places all up there now, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you eventually see Georgia turn blue?
Yep.
How long do you think it takes?
A guesstimation right now that I would have, if Walker pulls this off, it'll probably be blue in 15 years.
So Walker would prolong it per se.
Yeah, if Warnock wins this, it'll be blue in less than 10. I say between 5 and 10.
But there's no stopping it in your eyes.
Nah, if they stop it, it would take a whole lot of the rest of the state. Because up here in Metro Atlanta, it's gone, bro. It would take the rest of the state to really keep it red. It's gone up here, dog.
Okay. So you have the immigrants that's going to vote blue. You have the natives that are split between red and blue. So basically, it's a numbers game at this point. And I would say the natives don't have enough numbers to keep it red, or won't have enough numbers to keep it red. Does that sound about right?
Yes, Spike, you said it perfectly. Yeah. Because the people that move here, if they vote, because I think really the only blocks that don't vote down here, the Asians don't vote. The Asians don't vote down here, but not in large numbers. So, but as far as Mexican and other ones, yeah, they bringing the numbers toward more of the blue side, and I fear it because I feel like they're not going to be happy. And I was telling somebody this a few times. Atlanta's a hub city.
Mm-hmm.
And see, when you got the West Coast, you got LA, you got Frisco. And then you go there, you know what I'm saying? They run the West.
Yeah.
You got Chicago in the Midwest as they hub.
Mm-hmm.
You got New York and all these guys up Northeast. They've been trying their best to get one in the South that really gonna fit the same pattern of those cities, man. And that's why it's going from red to blue. Because people moving down here and they don't really respect the state. They like the city and everything that it does, but they don't really respect the heritage and the people that are from here,
You know what? I have an opinion. I think once New Yorkers started moving down there, could be biased. I'm only saying this because of my experience. Because everybody I met in the industry was from New York, or they were not
man.
from Atlanta, and it was rare if I ran into Kwan Prather or L.A. Reid. You know, I mean, somebody that's homegrown. The majority of people I met or I deal with were New Yorkers.
Yeah.
And I've always said they brought a culture down there that's like, you know what? If this gets out of hand, it's not gonna. What do you say to that? Am I far off in that?
No, and I don't think you're biased because you got to think New York has been coming out here so long that their kids are growing up here.
Right.
So their kids are not only from New York and know that part, they're also native to here. So now what you have is these youngsters now who act like New Yorkers, and they do things that are New York like. Uh, a lot of these crimes, man. A lot of these kids whose families moved here from New York. I hate to say it like that, but a lot of those are these type of kids, man. It's not a whole lot of them like that. It's not just dire as far as that, man. You know, the news blow up everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's still safe. You watch yourself at wherever you go out here, but it can go. They've rooted now, even though they still got New York ties. They rooted here.
Well, let me ask you about the crimes. The crimes. I mean, aside from the credit card cracking schemes, I'm cool with that. That's like, white collar shit. I'm okay with that. But the kick doors, man, like what the fuck? Like I said, back in '07, out towards the airport, I forget what city that is, Midtown. When they were expanding out towards they were doing kick doors back then, and these places weren't even finished being built.
Yeah.
Why have the crimes become so violent now?
The crimes become so violent because the cost of living. Listen, when you come to Atlanta, man, ain't nothing cheap. Like
Okay.
when I was
get into that. Yeah, break it down for me, brother. Break it
when
down.
when I was growing up in Atlanta, and I know times change. You have inflation anyway. But when I was growing up as a youngster, man, if you had $20 on the weekend, you was straight. You know what I'm saying? So now with all the social media aspect of it and everything else, and nothing here is cheap. And these kids don't really want to work for them low wages, and they're not really equipped to make money off the internet like a lot of people. Then what they do now, if they can feel like they can go pull a kick though, man, just so they can have some nice stuff or be able to have a nice time because the restaurants are high, the clothing stores and places are high, and people in Atlanta will make you feel like you don't belong if you don't look a certain way or drive certain things. So a lot of these young kids, they're like, we can just kick the door in. Ain't nobody gonna see us because we can get, especially in Buckhead, it's so easy to get away in Buckhead. You know what I'm saying? The highway's right there. You can go down on the train station, the Lennox train station, and be gone. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of it is the flashy and the high price of everything, man. It's really making these kids be like, look, man, we gotta get it. That way we can fit in or whatever. And if I go to prison, I'll be out in no time. We'll just do it all over again, man. But it's really about the cost and how everything is, man. Because man, an evening, man, and even a restaurant, man, just basic restaurants. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily Applebee's or Chili or anything like that, but a lot of these spots, man, two people, you talking about $50, $60.
Bro, I went to Papa Do's. I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, wait, wait, what? How much?
If you go somewhere with two people, if you and your lady, your wife go somewhere, you don't have to have 100 bucks.
Yeah.
And that's without drinks.
Yeah.
A lot of these places, yeah. Yeah. That's with two waters.
Yo, yeah, I feel bad. It's turned into this, man, because my daughter was born in Piedmont Hospital, man. So
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
right there on P Street.
Yeah, right, right on. So, damn.
I think they're gonna end up. Matter of fact, I forgot to mention. I'm glad you brought up Piedmont. I think
Yeah,
that Wellstar. I think Piedmont gonna get a lot more money, but I think they're gonna be taking that Wellstar in. That's just how I view it because they've been expanding Piedmont. So I think they had. I think they got a little. I think they're gonna get a little kickback for the people from that Wellstar.
I would hope so because I don't think people realize how big Wellstar their network was.
Mm-hmm.
And to lose all that, I mean, you have a huge gap, a huge hole to fill.
Mm-hmm. And I think they, like I said, Piedmont's been expanding, and I think they really. Somebody did say a comment. The sports bars bust your head too, bro. If you go in
Okay.
the sports bar, you go in the sports bar, and you get a shot, you got $15 shots, man.
See, I don't drink, so I just
Yeah,
cranberry
that's good.
juice.
You don't. Hey,
They brought you.
I don't blame you, brother.
I can't afford that vice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that alcohol is expensive vice, man. Trust me, I know from my past experiences. But Piedmont is definitely probably gonna get some of those people from over there, and I think Grady will probably get it. You know, Grady's kind of packed, but I think Piedmont and definitely Piedmont and it's another one. It'll come to me in a minute. Yeah, I think Piedmont is definitely preparing for that spike. They've done some expanding, man. So
Well, let me ask you this. So, would there ever be a point where you say, you know what, it's time to go?
I'm gonna do that as soon as my son get older, brother.
Really?
He's 10 years old now.
So you
Yeah.
see no hope for it at all? Like it's a sinking ship.
It's a sinking ship, and the funny thing is, it's sinking slow like the Titanic, like a little baby leak. Where you driving along for a few miles and know nothing changed, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden the water pours in little by little.
yeah.
And yeah, it's gonna be so massive out here, man. It ain't gonna be. I mean, you can't get around, brother. I can't go anywhere unless I go up the street. If I go out, and me and my wife go out, and we go somewhere, man, we gonna be gone for a while, and that's just going to like a restaurant. It's just so jammed, man. Like I done got to where I don't even get on the highways no more. I just go
Really?
back ways. Yeah, I go
Okay.
back ways. Even on Sunday, man, it's you like what? It's 9 o'clock in the morning on Sunday, and it's just something that happened, an accident. You know.
Um. Well, I want to get to Iron Five's point because he's down there with you too as well. So,
hmm
would you consider? Would you tell folk, okay, maybe not live here, but definitely live somewhere else and buy real estate? At least have your hand on something in this state before it all gets swallowed up by everybody else.
Yeah, I
Is that
would definitely. Yeah, I would definitely say have something already on deck here because yeah, it's going to be swallowed up now. Hopefully, the market changes as far as housing down here, but I don't foresee that because it's just too many people, coming in, man, that really can afford some of this stuff. So,
so? You
and
guys stay with an influx of nouveau rich coming in. So
yeah,
that's not okay.
see the
Okay.
reason why, and I pulled up a point, and I just wanted to look at this. The population of the city of Atlanta in 1920 to 2020 was relatively the same.
Really?
In 100 years, the actual city of Atlanta, the population didn't change by maybe 10,000 people. Because down here, when people come down here young, they live in the city, then they move out,
Mm,
and then more young people come to the city and do the same thing. That's why we got the sprawl.
okay.
Yeah, but the city of Atlanta itself is not that big. Yeah,
Let me ask you because you said earlier, and also they in the chat, they was like Metro Atlanta ain't Georgia. why? Why the disconnect? Why do people that live in Atlanta think this bubble? It's a running joke, but I'm like, and when Abrams lost, and I want you to touch on that as well too. But when Abrams lost, they're like, "Did y'all not vote? Do y'all understand this affects Georgia?" And they're like, sis, wait. Atlanta is not the state of Georgia. Can you speak to this detachment or this bubble-like existence that people in Metro Atlanta have as opposed to their state?"
I'm gonna tell you why they have it. Because when you leave Metro Atlanta, brother, it's a stark difference
Yeah.
in how the rest of the state looks versus Metro Atlanta. Whereas you go to Rome and toward the mountains up there, Rome, Dalton, and places like that, those are mountain people. You know what I'm saying? And then we go like to Macon or Savannah, all them. Those are real country people, and they don't have jobs like that. So they're not living hog to hog like they do in Metro Atlanta, man. And people really be struggling. I mean, you still see some hoopties down in these other places.
Yeah, I've been fortunate to see outside of Atlanta. I mean, it's almost like going through West Virginia. You know, it's like, oh, is that a brewery in someone's backyard type shit? Like you see
It's
some
way
wild
different.
shit.
And see, that's the thing that people don't realize when they come to Atlanta. They be like, "Oh, I was in Georgia." I said, nah, you got to go outside the Metro Atlanta area to really see the state like that. But it's a lot of struggle outside of the Metro area. Matter of fact, when I go around Atlanta, you don't see many raggedy cars or older cars anymore like you used to. Everybody pretty much got an up-to-date kind of vehicle for the most part. But when you go down south or up north, yeah, it's older stuff. Yeah.
Can you give me an idea of the income gap between Metro Atlanta and everybody outside of Metro Atlanta?
Ooh, if I had to guess a median, because my mama's from Columbus, so my grandmother's still down there. In, outside of the Metro Atlanta area, the people probably have a combined income of $30,000 in a lot of places.
That's
And I'm
not
talking,
can't live off that.
mm-mm. And I'm talking about like mother and daddy, husband and wife type stuff. I know some people at 30,000, man, combined. And they probably live in some small little spot, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even a trailer park, but just like a tiny house. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of them. They got some of them in Columbus, man. They still living in them, though. Yeah. But overall, outside the state, yeah, especially when you get to where Herschel Walker and Shannon Sharp and them boys from way in the country, like down there, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's rough, man. Yeah.
Okay, I want you to touch on Stacey Abrams. Um, a lot of people in the city think like her. She resonates with them for some odd reason. How far from reality are they? Or are they basing Stacey Abrams' reality off what they live in Metro Atlanta as opposed to outside of the city?
Stacey's really great at hobnobbing.
Okay.
She's really great at hobnobbing. The problem is everybody knows that she's only going to be concentrated with a certain amount of people. You know what I'm saying? Like her focus, if she was to win, I think her. Yeah, he said Columbus starting to clean up. Yeah, it is actually, but I think with her, she's only going to be focused on three types of people, and it's evident because anytime you ask her about anything real, she kind of just babbles around the question, much like Warnock does. But she's really all about the alphabet community. She's all about feminists, and she's about immigrants. Anything else, she don't care about, man. So,
Do you think she was brought in not to win, but to kind of set everybody up for the next whoever comes behind her or the next couple of guys but after her? I don't think she was set up to win. I don't think
nah,
she was put there to win.
Nah, she wasn't going to win because like I said it's hard to win the state. It's hard to win governor because the governor is mostly always going to be mostly red.
Okay.
So with her, I think she's just a bridge to she was the feeler. And
Yes.
she was paid handsomely to be this feeler.
Yeah.
So I think that she whoever's next that runs again, she's definitely gonna be grooming. She's definitely gonna be giving them some she's definitely gonna be giving them some pointers. But I agree with you on that, your question. She definitely wasn't set in here to win. Nah, she wasn't beating Kemp. Nah.
Oh, let me ask you this. So according to the exit polls, we basically had 70% of white men and white women vote for Kemp. Okay. And given what they value and what they hold near and dear, how does that relate to race relations in the state?
As far as them voting for Kemp, as far as black and white, as far as voting for Kemp,
both, yes.
the funny thing about the race relations in the state as a whole, because I deliver all over the state.
Okay.
The race relations as a whole are not bad at all. The race relations only get a little sketchy when you get closer to the city.
Okay.
That's when the race relations. Everybody in the state, for the most part, is just living, man. They really ain't worried about so much black and white. They worried about trying to survive. So outside of Metro Atlanta, man, the state is totally different. It's like people are friendly. It's like the South. It's how the South, like how Atlanta used to be, friendly, and you know what I'm saying. Everybody
Right.
getting along, but nah, it's yeah. The race relations outside of the Metro area is pretty good, man.
Now, when I was there, I forget this restaurant form runner took me to. It was way
Mm-hmm.
out there. I forget the name of it, man. But I didn't see too many homeless people unless I was in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So I assume you guys have the same problems everyone else has as far as the homelessness.
Mm-hmm. The homeless aspect, man, it's so crazy down here, but they all stay by the Capitol building. And you would think at the Capitol building they would be able to see this.
Mhm.
And it's a church, and they sleep outside of a church right next to the Capitol building. They have tents under the overpasses, where 75, 85, and I-20 meet.
Mhm.
There are tents down there, brother. They be panhandling on the exit ramps. Like, how did you even get down here, man? Like,
Somebody they had to be dropped off because you ain't walking. That's a
but they
long
got
walk.
but they got tents down there up under the overpasses and everything, man. So all the homeless people are really going toward the city because in my opinion, man, having talked to some homeless people before, they're really in the city so they can get around if they have to. Because when you homeless out in the suburbs where ain't no Martin and stuff like that, man, you're fucked, bro. You're fucked. But at least in this downtown, you can get around. You might be able to bum up 250 to catch Martin. But they told me they could get, the homeless people tell me they can get around better down
Now, weren't they supposed to expand the MARTA? Nah, they was saying this shit when I was there, like they're going to expand and add more stops and more rails. Was that okay? Your look
there.
tells me everything I need to know.
They expanded up closer to Alpharetta. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah, they just went up another. So now you can get over there, and a bus can take you to as far up as Alpharetta now. Yeah, but as far as east, nah.
Okay.
See, well, yeah, east is not happening. West is not happening, and they not expanding, man, because their goal was to not have so many riffraffs out there. That's why they never expanded too far in the first place. Nah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, this is wild, man. Yeah, I appreciate this. I mean, I knew it was shit was crazy. People be telling me, and I just be like, okay, okay, and I drive through
Mm-hmm.
there, and I'd be like, oh, shmearoo.
Yeah.
And hearing this kind of breaks my heart, man. It's just like, damn, like,
I think the only reason Atlanta's really kind of, to me, I think that the immigrants and the people coming in are really, as far as the economy, they're really keeping the money flowing because they spend so much. But like people go out here, and me growing up here, man, Monday through Thursday or Sunday through Thursday, people weren't out like that, man.
mhm,
It was typically Friday night or Saturday and Saturday night.
mhm.
Man, people go out here. When I was Lyft driving, man, the whole city be red on the Monday night, Tuesday night.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, I'd be at the Blue Flame on Tuesday for a meeting, and I'm like, who the
Mm-hmm.
hell meets at a strip club for a meeting on a Tuesday?
They would meet anywhere on a Tuesday. You be like, you ain't got to do nothing tomorrow. You just out, just 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, just on a Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever.
Wow.
But that's the only thing keeping this mud looking like it's going pretty good because everybody's still spending bread. So, and I mean, if you a social, I always tell people, if you young, no kids, and you come to Atlanta, man, it's gonna be a ball for you.
Mhm.
But eventually, as you get older, you're gonna get tired of the same old.
Right. Yeah. It's like going to a party school, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, so many parties. Now I got to really get the education going.
yeah.
Okay. So a lot of YouTubers have moved down there.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And I would love to hear it. I'm not saying my point of view is just all the right stuff either. You know, I like to hear people different points of views. But from what I see every day, because I'm around the city, I'm around Metro Atlanta and outside of it so much every day.
yeah.
Delivering, I deliver pool equipment and things like that. So we all over the place. So, but
Wait, I remember you snapping on IG, man, because you were like, "This motherfucker don't even tip." You was going off. I was like, "What?" I ain't forget, bro, because I was like, "My man is pissed." He's like, "You know what, man? We wouldn't even." I was like, "What? What did I miss?"
see, my problem was okay. One of the girls I went to college with, she was like, "You should. It's not all black people." And you know, like that's when I told you what Nick said. Not all.
Yeah.
I said, "Sister, if I needed to say that for you to understand that, then you shouldn't have commented."
Yeah.
Because of course I don't mean all, but see, I was delivering delivering food and pizzas and stuff in Sandy Springs. And man, them the no tipping this joker, man. I'm delivering your high ride. You gotta scam me in to get on the elevator, and you can't tell. Come on now. Come on.
Man, you was snapping. I was just like,
Don't do it. Don't do it.
it was too late, bro. It's just I couldn't stop. It was too late. I was like, okay, oh shit. Damn.
But man, I mean, you see these people living grand, and then when you do a service and they give you $1 or two, you be like, bro, like, come on, y'all.
Mhm.
Come on. The Mexicans be giving you like cash. They be like, here's 10. You know, they don't care, but the rest of them,
Yeah.
mm-mm. I say, y'all ought to be ashamed. Move down here, man. All y'all standing. If you can't afford it, man, you can't afford a tip. Don't order it. Come get it, man.
Mate, now I know this is probably way too early to tell. Do you think there will ever be a time people that have left would come back? Or you do you believe when people just say, you know what, I'm out, you don't see it ever getting to a point where they would come back for whatever reasons?
I'm gonna use my class reunion as an example, right?
Okay.
Now, most of the black people still stay here. Most of them still stay in Conyers, by the way. But most of my white classmates, if they're still in the state, they're far away. They're either in far North Georgia or they up in the north. They all over the place, but they said they're never coming back, bro. So I don't think it's ever going to be a part where people come back that's natives. Unless they just want to move back down here when they're old, you probably might as well just move to Florida because it's going to be so high.
Yeah.
But the more people, man, that pricing ain't going down, man. It is not going down.
So basically, you see Atlanta becoming the southern New York, like as far as cost of living, everything.
Yeah. What I see people doing that when they leave here, when they leave Atlanta,
Mhm.
they're going to bum rush Charlotte. And they're going to bum rush, pretty much just bum rush Charlotte, man, because
Yeah,
that's the
Charlotte.
next
What was it like 3-4 hours?
4 hours, yeah.
4 hours, yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I bet they're going to bum rush. I feel like they'll bum rush Charlotte if they stay in the South. Because Charlotte has similar weathers. Charlotte's similar to Atlanta as far as, design and the people, but I feel like Charlotte it's going to be the one to get bum rushing that when people leave. Because nobody's really going to go to Richmond. Nobody's going to really fuck with Nashville and Birmingham like that. Birmingham might get some kickback when people move over there, but I don't see why. It hasn't really expanded east like that. West like that, yeah. But
Well, yeah, Nashville. Yeah, Nashville still isn't cheap by no means. So I don't see that. What about Florida?
If oh man, thing about Florida is I really only feel like if you leave Atlanta, you go to Florida, you're only gonna really fuck with Orlando, outside of Orlando,
Okay.
or you fuck with like St. Augustine. Because Tampa and St. Pete and all that is not cheap. And God know we know what Miami is.
Yeah.
So if it ain't St. Augustine or like around Orlando, people aren't gonna go to Florida too tough.
Okay.
I would say that South Carolina just ain't got nothing cracking because people are just gonna go to Charlotte. They're not gonna fuck with Greenville and all that. They're not gonna.
Okay.
So if I'm Charlotte, I prepare your highways.
Damn. Okay. All right, bro. I've had you on for about an hour. You got anything else that you wanna wrap a spiel about?
Uh, Man, I can think of off the top of my head. Not really, man. I just really wish our people would really do their due diligence, man, when it comes to voting and things like that, man, because it really kind of when they did the census, I think in 2020, man, the census taker came to the door with a marshal.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, what is this? I'm looking like, what y'all gonna arrest me if I don't do that? Like, what are we?
I really ain't gonna give you the real numbers of who all lives here now.
Yeah.
What number you want? What you want to hear? Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, a marshal, bro. A real live marshal, uniform and everything, gun.
Okay. With that being said,
it's gonna be scary down here, man. With that martial law, it's gonna really down here. That's gonna get serious. If it ever get to that, it's gonna be crazy down here, man. People gonna be bumping in each other, running over each other down here, man. Ain't no space, man, like it used to be. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got, man.
That's what's up. Okay. Well, my man, please shout yourself out to the people where they can find you.
Oh yeah, y'all gonna find me on, I will say Facebook, but I don't even post on that because don't nobody see it. Their algorithms are crazy. But I'm on Instagram, Arcee3, ARCEE3 _. And that's pretty much what I do. I pretty much go in there and do what I do on there. Just trying to work on a podcast with a couple of my guys where we just talk sports or whatever, but ain't nothing came together yet. So y'all stay tuned for me.
Yeah. Do it. You gotta do it.
Yeah, because that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, let me just go ahead and do it, man, on my own. I ain't gonna wait.
Yeah, don't wait. Yeah, fuck it, man. If you got it in your heart to do it, man, bro, please, bro, just do it. Because the longer you let that shit go by, and some type, the sporting shit, talking World Cup now, all of a sudden, do it. Okay.
And I was wondering, you did that's why I listened to you and Nick, because that's how I ended up on DuckDuckGo messing with Nick. I heard Nick say.
Okay.
And then y'all was talking about the editing software. That's what I was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing I would tell anybody, because I was on somebody's panel. They were talking about using outside help to do the editing, and I said, well, it would help that you learn that way you can convey to your editor when you get to that point what you want, how you want it to flow, which transitions you want, stuff like that, like the basic minimums that you should learn to to kind of broaden your skill set. And if you ever hire a video editor, you can converse with him and he'll know what you're talking about, and vice versa, as far as when it comes to editing shit. But that's just something you're gonna, I would say, tinker with, just to have to get the basic understanding of it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that, man. And get started on my own stuff, man. Get me a cargo van here. These Mexicans will leave me a cargo van I can get. That's another thing too. Them cargo vans, man, because of Mexicans. And I'm not mad at the Mexicans; they doing their thing, but man, they don't run.
I know what I want to talk to you about. The black barbers. Now, I got a cousin down there. They're going to price themselves out eventually. Okay. Yeah. He at 1 week a month, he only takes house calls, $250 to $500 a pop. All right. He already automatically charges $75 when you walk through his door. What the fuck is going on with the black barbers in Atlanta?
I'm gonna tell you what happened with some of them. I don't know about your partner, but I know a lot of them, once they get notoriety.
Yeah.
Like if they they could cut Trae Young backup hair.
Not Trae Young backup.
Not Trae Young, because we know he don't cut shit. But Trae Young backup, they'll cut him and say, man, yeah, I cut house players head, all this, you know what I'm saying? Don't let them get a couple of Don't let them get a notoriety and a couple of clients, but they finna shoot that mother through the roof. The problem is down here, people ain't gonna be paying that. People ain't gonna be paying $40 and $50. This ain't like DC. Mm-mm.
Yo, I remember what it was a Super Bowl in one city, and
Mm-hmm.
all these barbers rented trucks, and they came to that city, mobile
Yeah,
barbers, and they cleaned house, and somehow
yeah.
took that mindset back to Atlanta with them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no one's paying more than $30 for a heck. Who the fuck?
Exactly, and that's my point. When they get some notoriety, they go to them All-Star games and all this stuff like that, and they get a little notoriety where they can put their pictures on their pages or whatever.
Yeah,
Then they feel like, man, well, I could Anthony Davis here, or I could, and it don't be Anthony Davis, it'd be Anthony Miller or somebody, but they'll say Anthony Davis. You'd be like, man, you cut Anthony Davis here. You ain't cut Anthony Davis here. We looking at his head. It's so bad down here that I used to have a barber, but I just went and got me some electric shavers and go ahead and make
and
mine
go
bald.
ahead. Bro, I just be like, what? My man, he's telling me he's like once 1 week a month, he just does house calls and his shit be booming. They be like, yo,
Mm-hmm.
what you want? Whatever. You name your price, cause come through. And he
My
be
son,
all through.
yeah, my son had a barber that only took appointment,
See, what is that?
and you had to wear a mask.
Oh, oh.
I was like, nah. But she got some notoriety from some people.
Okay.
And next thing you know, the prices went up because the people she got the notoriety from, they paying 100, they paying 75.
Okay. Okay.
They
I mean,
figure
I
they
get it.
probably, yeah.
I
But
get it totally, but I'm like, you guys gonna price yourselves out. Eventually, that
mm,
shit's gonna go bust.
yeah, because it's always a new up and coming barber, man. That ain't, you know what I'm saying? I know it's hard to find a good one for real, but you can give somebody a shot instead of paying them 75 because a new barber would take a dub. They don't care. Trying to eat.
That's See, American Negro says that's how it is in my shop. I have 3 barbers and a stylist. You cannot get me to touch you unless you booked and paid in advance. See, if Super Slide down there in Crenshaw and I need a you bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? You gonna have me go to these motherfucking estates. You quit playing with me, man.
Exactly, man. They gonna price themselves out, but the thing is, once they do that, the people with the notoriety are really gonna mess it up for the guys under them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna mess it up, man, and they're gonna be going on, and they're gonna be over here cutting Swiss Beats, hell, whoever come through, somebody, and just I don't know why I brought up Swiss Beats as an example, but yeah, but they just gonna have that, and they're gonna ignore the regular folk, man, and then
Yeah, because the SA 25 for a cut and a razor. Like,
yeah,
what are we talking about?
yeah.
Oh,
I've seen some barber where they cut they razors is 25.
okay.
Not even the cut. Not even like that. They had a bald head like mine. Not even no edge up. It should be like 25, 30 just for the razor.
And then they gonna want a tip.
Yep. So,
My
yeah, man.
man, RC is in the house, bro. Thank you for this. I definitely want to bring you back.
Oh yeah.
Definitely want to bring you back. I thank you for getting me up to speed on how really crazy Atlanta has
Yeah.
become.
And I know people be in the comment like, I'm down here. It ain't all like that. I
No,
said, brother,
they were going. It was like it really is. Like he's fat. I was like, oh shit, it is that bad.
yeah. And I see I'm around all day, man. I'm between Alabama and Georgia. I'm all over here. So I see a number of people, bro.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. So I see a
okay.
number of different people.
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, American Negro, bruh. Yes, I listen. I frequent LA. I be down there and
Mm-hmm.
I be down there Laguna Beach and all the with the white folk and shit. Have
Mm-hmm.
no business being down there. You
Hey, next
know.
time you're down here, man, you gotta let me know. I'll show you
Hey,
what I'm talking about down here.
I'm a listen. I'm gonna be there for Christmas. I'm gonna be in
Okay.
my brother got an Airbnb or some shit. I don't even know where the fuck it's at, but I'm gonna be there in I got you, bro. I'm gonna hit you up.
Yeah,
So I'll
yeah.
hit you up for sure,
Cause
for
I
sure.
got cause I can go. We can ride out, and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about outside the city. It's nuts,
That's what's up. Okay, for sure, for sure. My
man.
man, any last words for the people?
Hey, love y'all guys, and just please, y'all just use your critical thinking. We say this all the time. I know Super Sly says it all the time. But use your critical thinking in everything you do, especially in this city, because you'll find yourself out there with your pants around your ankles in the alley somewhere, messing around down there.
That's my man Arcee3. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you for coming through.
No doubt. Appreciate you having me, man.
My man. Yo, that's my guy. That's my guy. I'm gonna bring him back. We're gonna do some more of that fun stuff. So hopefully everybody got some out of it. I learned more than I was prepared to learn. I'm deeply depressed and about Atlanta, but it is what it is. He's on IG Arcee3 on IG. So with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Have a good one. Peace.